I just got evicted from the Big Brother house, so I'm not here on some too very good of circumstances, but I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. How are you feeling at this moment? I'm feeling like I just took a sword to the back, to be honest with you. I had an alliance with two other teammates, Alex and Paul, that just swore up and down that all three of us were going to make it right to the final four, on to the final three, and then we were just going to battle it out to see who made the top two. So I'm super shocked that I was here, because there should have been absolutely no way under any circumstances that with those two and Josh, it should have just been a clean sweep. But you know, I'm obviously here now, and I'm super shocked. Tell us what happened. Why do you think you are here right now? Honestly, I'm not exactly sure, because it was there's two bigger threats in the house apparently, and one of them was on the block next to me, Alex. I mean, Alex and Paul are huge competitors, and they're super savvy at the game. So there's nothing that goes on inside that house that those two don't know about. And they were in my posse, so they were my pals, and I guess I was taking it for granted a little bit. I should have realized I was sleeping in the wolf's den. So, but I feel like if the others would have at least came to me as well. I mean, we all kind of were in the dungeon in the beginning and rose kind of to power on a slow, hard pull. And I'm just absolutely shocked. I'm just absolutely shocked that I am here right now explaining why I'm here, because I honestly don't know. I was 100% shocked by the way the votes went tonight, because I honestly thought, and everybody assured me, that it was going to be a clean sweep. So when it was 2-2, I was pretty sure the girl that was riding my back when I broke her foot and hobbled her for like 8 weeks was probably not going to keep me. But at the same time, I was kind of on the edge of my seat wondering what was about to happen. And I thought it was probably just a ploy for good TV, you know, be really exciting. But when she picked Kevin, I knew right then that it was no ploy. It wasn't on a haha funny. It was a plan that had been executed for 3 weeks. And it just makes me wonder if Kevin was actually telling the truth, or if Paul and Alex had been trying to convince me that Kevin was a complete pathological liar for the last 3 weeks, or if he really is. I still have no idea which one's true, but I know one thing. Paul and Alex definitely had a hand in what happened tonight, and they've known about it for quite some time. So they can both, never mind. Looking back, was I worried when Christmas won HOH? If I'm telling the truth now, I would honestly say I couldn't understand what the big deal about throwing it was, but the way Paul and Alex spun it to me was, we want to throw the HOH competition because we don't want any more blood on our hands. But really what they meant was, I'd basically sent everybody to jury, or put everybody on the block that was in jury, and they didn't want to have to do that because they were apparently, obviously, having a final two with each other, and so they just wanted to skate right in. So they were telling me I was out going HOH, so I didn't compete, and so they're like, well, you know, we'll just throw it to Christmas or Josh because they will execute our plan. I believe that. Shame on me. How did you feel when Christmas put you up? I damn near fell out of my chair. No, wait, I did fall out of my chair because it shocked me that much. I really, at that point, knew I was in trouble, if my gut's telling the truth, because I was like, there's absolutely no reason under the sun that Alex and I should both be on the block. But if my brain serves me correctly, Alex actually volunteered to go up as a pawn. So after I was on the block as well, I instantly started thinking that I am the target, because I said in very plain English about an hour before that I did not feel comfortable going on the block. I did not want to go on the block. And I thought it would be crazy to go on the block as a pawn at this point. I'm like, why wouldn't you put Raven up? Raven's the target, and she's not going to win the veto. So why don't you put Alex and Raven up? Then one of us will win the veto and keep the nominations the same, or, you know, pull her off and do something else. Put Kevin up there because he was the next target. So when all of that started going the opposite way, I just kept my Midwest smile and thought, yeah, they got my back. It's nothing to worry about. So I'll sit on the block, win the veto. And if I would have won the veto, I probably would have pulled Alex off anyway. So I'm a tool. Do you feel like you're the target or just a pawn? No, I absolutely felt like I was the target after I got put on the block next to Alex. Then they all reassured me that I wasn't the target. So I felt a little better. Didn't really campaign very hard to keep myself. Because I didn't want to make Kevin feel bad. I'm over letting people not feel bad or feel bad. I probably should have had a little more aggression towards gameplay instead of trusting my team so much. But in the real world, that's what, yeah, you kind of got to trust your team or it really goes the other way. What did you think after Paul won the veto? I was super pissed at myself. Because I allowed something foolish to cloud my thinking and not pay attention. So I got off to the first 2 rounds were terrible. And that unfortunately cost me the win. But I didn't really feel that out of line when Paul won because he's on my team. So it was almost a plan that either me, him, or Alex win. I just wanted to win because of the things that were attached to the veto that would have been super awesome to be involved in. So I was actually still feeling pretty safe. As safe as you can feel when you're on the block because it's Big Brother and you kind of always have that in the back of your head like something could go wrong because I'm in the spot where things can go wrong if you're on the block. But I actually wasn't that surprised and that shocked and upset that Paul had the veto. Was I surprised when Paul used the veto on Alex? No, because at this point, I'd had a conversation with them, and I was feeling super safe, and had I won the veto, I would have used it on Alex as well, because it's just kind of the man card thing to do. I mean, and everybody was getting a lot of flack and guff for dipping on their girls when they were on the block. And so, I mean, it was just, I would have done it anyway. So I would have looked like a super tool had I won the veto, used it on Alex, and then sent myself home, essentially. So I wasn't that shocked when he used it on Alex either. You and Kevin have been close from the beginning of the game. Talk about being on the block with him. You know, the funny thing is, Kevin has had a little pattern the whole time of kind of telling you what he's thinking, kind of subtly. And he kept subtly telling me, since the nominations were changed and he went up, that he thought I was going to go home. And I kind of thought it was funny. And I just didn't really, you know, I just said, yeah, I just kind of agreed with him because I didn't want to make him feel bad. So, I mean, I packed all my stuff, my cups, I packed everything, so just to keep that, so he wouldn't feel bad, so he would actually think that I didn't really know if I was going home or not. Turns out I'm really glad I packed all my stuff because I went home and he didn't. But being on the block with him, I guess I felt pretty good because everybody said he was a target. Everybody had been treating him like ass, baiting him into arguments. And the funny thing is, I always said, man, I hope I'm never the one that is the target for all of the yelling matches because that would not be a comfortable place to be. Turns out, it worked out for Kevin. You made some good relationships in the house. Who will you keep in contact with after this season ends? Well, that's a good one. Because my lifestyle is about 1,000% different than everybody else's in about every way. So I am going to try to keep in contact, at least remotely, just for certain, hopefully, events with probably Kevin, Paul, and that's it. Kevin and Paul, the two guys that just stuck me in the back with a ginormous pitchfork and duped me for the last 3 weeks. But, in their defense, it's a game, and I probably should have opened my eyes a little bit, maybe done a little bit better research. There's a million things I could blame myself for. But at the same time, had I done what they did to me, my life would be different outside the game. So I don't know what's right and what's wrong. But I would say I'm going to try to set up something with Kevin and Paul, because I really want to get even with Paul. Just a little bit. I mean, I think he deserves pain. Actually, I think he deserves a lot of pain. And he thinks he's such a little badass. I can't wait to introduce him to my world, because he is going to find out real quick that that mirror does not punch back or chase him. So I'm definitely going to have Paul come to my house. And then I'm not going to tell him. I'm going to do a little line to Paul's face, actually. I'll just return the favor. It won't be no big deal. And I'll be there to catch his back after some damage happens. But at least I'll be there to catch his back. I won't just kick him out the door and take the money and run. So, yeah, definitely Paul for sure, because if I have to buy the ticket to get him to come to my house, I'm going to do that, because it'll be money well spent, because he's got it coming. All right. Who do you want to see go far in the game? Now I want to see Christmas win the game, because I think it would be the biggest joke on everyone else in the game if a girl with one leg wins, and I'm the one that broke her leg, and she's the one that kicked me out. So, and we've been going back and forth since the whole damn time. So I hope Christmas wins. I hope she wins, because they just kicked what they call a threat out and a dangerous player, and they don't think she's a dangerous player. And I guarantee you, if that girl had 2 good legs, she would be one hell of a dangerous player. So I hope Christmas wins. Even though I'd like to hold her head underwater for about 5 minutes, I want her to win now. Who do you think is running the house? I should ask myself this question a while ago. Who do I think is running the house? If it's Kevin, I'm going to die. But I honestly think it's Paul. It's definitely Paul. There's not a doubt in my mind why it's Paul, which is another reason why he deserves to be arena broke. And what I mean by that is turned loose in an arena with a bunch of fighting bulls so he can see what it feels like. It's definitely Paul. Sure, who do I think will be joining me next in the jury house? I'm just going to straight up say right now, I have no idea, because I had no idea that I was going home tonight. I had no idea I was going to put on the block, and apparently I have no idea when anyone lies to me. So I am going to guess, and that's all it is a straight guess. I mean, from the knowledge that I have, it should be Kevin or Raven. But now, if Paul's running the house, and he thinks it's whatever he thinks is going on, it's whatever he thinks is going to happen in the jury house, it's whatever he's decided that how now myself and Cody and Mark and Matt and Elena, if he thinks we're all going to lean toward gameplay, then he'll probably want to kick Alex out next. And if he pulls that off, I mean, if he wins whatever competition they had, then he'll just tell his minions to vote out Alex. So if it's... I just don't know. I'm going to go with... If he thinks it's going to be... I don't know what he bases his theories on, but I'm starting to think that it's not going to be any weak player. It's going to be Alex. So that's what I'm going with. I think it's going to be Alex. unless she won. And if it's not her, then it's going to be Raven to keep the lie alive. Would I do anything different if I could do it all over again? Jeez. I don't know if we have enough time. Would I do anything different if I could do it all over again? I mean, honestly, I would say I would do what just happened to me. And that is align with the weak players, befriend the good players, and then try to get them out. Because what happened was we all said we wanted to make it a competitive season and you know, run the comps to the end. That didn't happen because we're not even to the Final Four yet, and they already panicked and split and dipped on me. So if I had to do it all over again, I would probably find I wouldn't call them weak players, but you know, just not the ones that can guarantee win every time in a roundabout way. What am I looking forward to most? I cannot wait to see my wife and my son. And because my wife's going to have like 18 weeks talking to the new baby without me. So I don't want it to, you know, it's already got the mama bond, right? It's got to hear dad's voice before it hits fresh air, or I'll be behind its whole life. You know what I mean? I'll always be the weaker parent. So I got to catch up on the 18 weeks that she's been tummy talking and I haven't been there. And I cannot wait to see how big my son is. I absolutely cannot wait to see my family. What I'm looking forward to doing. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing my family. What I want to do is get in my pickup, load my family, load my bull, and I want to go to a rodeo. That's what I want to do when I get out of here, and that's going to happen. This is the final question. Any last words for my fans out there? Absolutely. Rodeo is Mother Nature's sport, and if you haven't been to one, go to one. But more importantly, if you know where there is a rodeo close to you, you go tell anybody that has anything to do with it that you want Whistle Nut to perform there. And spread that across the United States so I have work for the next 10 years. Because I just botched a $500,000 paycheck thanks to trusting two assholes, Paul and Alex. So go tell everybody that rodeos are awesome. See for yourself and have them hire Whistle Nut. That's it. Thanks.